Hey everybody!
Hello,
That's Miguel.
this is Beatrice.
And this is Floorcraft.
A connection story.
Yeah, and this is episode 3, Return of the Connections. Yeah, so we've been alternating between Connection and Floorcraft.
And we came back to connection again.
Yeah, kind of in a Star Warsy theme, because we're nerds. So, today we were talking about rock steps and how that connection can differ in different kinds of rock steps and how that helps you create momentum for the move.
The
right?
rock step is always the beginning of the move that is coming next, and it always creates a stress in the opposite direction from the move that's
Yeah, and it's a prep. Actually, in level 1, Robert was making an analogy about how, if you are hitting a soccer ball, you don't just hit it, you always kind of prep and then hit it. Same kind of idea, rock step has that same momentum feel. So first we just did an exercise for connection in general, where we were holding hands, we kind of leaning back, leaning forward, just to kind of feel what that tension and compression and stretch can feel like. Because when you're doing a regular rock step, yeah, you're feeling this tonality and connection in the arms, right?
So to indicate this rock step, what I'm doing as a lead is stepping back and changing the weight of my body to my left step. It's a step, but I'm keeping my hand in front of me, so I'm creating space between my follow and me.
Yeah, so
It's
the
like
body
this,
and arm
like this
are,
more.
yeah, creating space. And I'm doing the same thing,
Like if
actually.
the hand is staying in the same place, but I'm moving back.
Yeah, so we have our connection remaining, and our bodies are moving away from it in a, stretchy way. It's important to never overstretch your arm or have it too tight to you. You want it to be kind of relaxed and
So you want
a
to have
springy feel,
running
right?
up to the rock step and
Yeah.
not hurt anyone.
Yeah. So obviously that basic rock step, you can do a lot of things, basic moves. But we kind of moved on from that rock step and taught a couple of different ways of doing the rock step. So the first one we did was a side step, which from this angle it's a side step. And I have to face it this way. Side step. Side step. Yeah.
So in this case, my arm is attached to my body, and I'm doing a step to my left as a lead, and my hands going with me.
Yeah.
That's the signal.
So this time, instead of creating space in the body whole body is moving as a unit. I'm thinking about the same thing, but I'm keeping my elbow relatively connected to where my body is, and so when I feel the connection moving, I move my whole body with it, right?
It's not
an arm movement, it's
That
a
won't
full
work.
body move, right?
And again, it's creating a stress here or momentum to do something else.
Right, so because
That
we went that way, we want to go this way. And so one of the practical applications for the side step in a move is the frisbee.
2,
3 and 4, 5 and 6. Right, that's the 6 count version. Again, we're stepping out to step through to collect together.
Close.
There's also an 8 count version. Actually, let's show it this way first. 6 count version. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And once to the side. A 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Just so you get a couple of different angles. There's an 8 count version.
It's like this. It's
1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the way that is indicated, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Let go.
6, 7, 8.
You notice in that moment, Miguel, let's
There's a
go.
release after the first triple. Rock step, triple. Release, step, and close.
Yeah. And lastly, we talked about how you can also use the side step for just walking. So, do walk,
Step.
walk,
Step.
walk, walk. You can do steps.
Or
You
do
can also
triple
do
steps.
triple steps, yeah.
Rock step, triple. And
You'll
you can
notice-
use this to travel around the dance floor. You want to go to the other side of the room, or you want to relocate.
Yeah, for
yourself.
floorcraft.
Or Floorcraft.
Yeah, if you want to travel. You'll notice that the triple steps will actually get you further along, but either can be used, and they're infinite counts, so you can go as long or as short as you want. But you can always use the triple step to gather back together, so you're doing your walking,
Step, step.
and then you use
Step
a
and
triple step to gather back into close.
You can also use it for musicality if you want to finish the phrase and start again on 1.
Yeah. And then another rock step we talked about was the rotated rock step. So switch places with you. Yeah. And so instead of in clothes, when you're doing like a basic move, you do your rock step kind of right
Linearly?
behind you, right linearly. Doop, doop, right? This one is our bodies are kind of opening up like a book a little bit. So we're doing a rotated rock step.
It's open.
So from the back view, instead of going linearly, we are going rotatedly.
Rock step.
And Miguel, if my body were not there,
This.
yeah, the arm is
I'm
again
keeping my
staying,
hand in the same place, like
body is moving
signal of
away.
opening. Yep.
In the
So
same
it's
way
this-
that in
It's
regular
comparable
rock
with this one, with which my arm was in the same place.
Yeah.
In this case, it's this arm.
step, arm is in the same place. And I'm just really paying attention to that back connection and trying to stay connected to it, which makes me rotate, right? Moves
From
for
here,
this,
Yes, we can
tuck
do
turn.
the tuck turn. Rock step, triple, triple.
again, the momentum out creates the momentum in. Another one is again with walking, do, 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 do. And the last one that we talked about was the flip-flop or the yo-yo or,
Butterfly.
yeah, which looks like this. It's a rock, step, triple, rock, step, triple.
So it's
rock, step.
basically two rock steps, the same rotator rock step here, and then here again.
Exactly. And then the very last thing that we covered and will be continued to cover next week is the forward step. And so it's not really a rock step, so unlike the rock steps where you're creating space to go a direction, this one is just moving in one direction, right? So instead of a rock step, Miguel is connecting his arm with his body and I'm walking forward.
I'm moving along with my hand.
Yeah. Step, step. And this can be used for swing outs. So if you're doing a regular swing out first with a rock step.
Rock step, regular, step, step, and here I do the forward. So it happens between the 8 and the 1. You have to be very thorough there. You have to be sure that you want to do the forward rock step.
Yeah, you have to plan ahead because that increase in tone and that connection and that signal to me as a follow happens before the 1 because the 1 is my step. And if it doesn't happen before that, I'm going to naturally go back. But if you kind of, well, let's do a regular swing out. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. Here it is. Yeah, it's already happening. So my 1 is a forward.
So my hand is already moving backwards with me.
Yeah.
Between 8 and 1. For my rock step.
Yeah. So Miguel's still doing a rock step, but it's not as stretched. 1. Yeah.
And that leads him to another swing out. Yes.
Yeah. And it's great for swivels if you want to do. So again, regular swings. Let's do regular. Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and
Swivel.
And I have to follow that.
Right? Yeah. You can't do swivels on a rock step. I mean, doesn't work so well. Yeah, that's everything that we covered. We hope that you'll join us next week
See you for the
at
episode
TLC.
4.
Episode 4. Another Floorcraft. What is it? Floorcraft Strikes Back? Something
Spoiler,
like that.
spoiler.
Oh, boom. Bye.
Bye.